I was like, that's ice cold. I was like, I will never forget that quote. You can't be the GOAT if you don't eat the grass. Keep your head down and consume. It's grounding, man. Stay grounded. You can't be the GOAT if you don't eat the grass. Right. And that's a 15-year-old. I was like, man, this dude Yoda. This cat Yoda. And he playing football. And I was like, I said, I had to rewind. I was like, miss. And he shook my soul, bro. I was like, when I went to my wife, after I left New York working for Mark, came back, my wife said, you should be a barber. You know, she's like, you got a great attention to detail. And I went to cosmetology school to become a better barber because I didn't know anything about it. And my biggest thing was I had respect for the profession and the skill set. You know, it is a craft, man. It is a great talent, you know, to be able to see something and to take a photo. I mean, because women and men come in with some wild photos. They're like, yo, make me look like this. I'm like, man, look, homie. It's like, you don't even dress like that. Do you dress like that? Like, especially, you know, and even women, like, they'll be like, I want that. They're like, look, she don't, I understand, but it's like, do you wear clothes like that? Do you wear makeup like that? I mean, there's so much more. You're seeing an entire style, an aesthetic. I know you want the hair, but it's not gonna look right if you aren't gonna keep it up. You know, so there's more to it. These are talented individuals. And so when I was in cosmetology school, I started to notice like different things. Like I started designing, you know, shirts, aprons and stuff to like cut down on time. And then I just remember that immobility, started sketching things about like, okay, how can we be mobile? And like, you know, it would always say, it's crazy, the philosophy. You don't want to be standing behind the chair forever. Because the goal in cosmetology school that they would always preach to us was you need to own a salon in order to really make it. Because the numbers were stacked against us. They say, okay, it's 30 of y'all in here, half of y'all will be out the industry in 2 years. That half, you'll be out in 5. Wow. You'll be cut down to half. So you get 7.5 people, maybe 6. See, that at that, half of y'all will get to 10 years. So now you're down to like 3. And she's like, maybe one of y'all, a third of that half, will make it a career. So pretty much 1 to 2 of you guys, because of circumstances that are just gonna happen in life, will be in this industry. Out of 30 people, you have a 560, currently it's worth 563 billion. In the next 3 to 4 years, it'll be at 863 billion on a global scale. And there's 1.1 million stylists in the United States. Over half earn below minimum wage, and they pay taxes on that. 280,000 of that half operate in some sort of freelance or on-demand capacity to supplement the income that they're not earning inside of the shop or salon. So when I started designing that stuff and finding out all these numbers, I was like, this is it. So I saw it for almost 5 years ago. I was like, this is where it's going. I sketch, show my teachers. They'd be like, yo, get back to work, but that looks dope. Keep going. It'll fundamentally change when and where a barber or beauty service takes place, but also how it takes place. Like, it's gonna reshape what you think about a barbershop. You know, you'll be able to hail a barber service right here in this room. You know,
that's wild.
And so that's where we're gonna get. You know, 5-6 years, people are gonna be like, I don't understand like, why nobody thought of this.
Right.
But the vehicle, we've created the vehicle that will power the predictability, the functional efficiency, and the regularity of on-demand beauty services.
Wow.
You know. And I'm exceedingly happy about those closing the gap on those 500,000 people that love this industry, that are incredibly talented, that want to profit off of it. You know, and a lot of those people look like me and you, a lot of them. You know, and that's what pushed me, man. You know, and people always talk about entrepreneurship, and that's a buzzword now. But they don't talk about, hey, you gotta hustle, don't give up. It's like, yo, come on, son, I know that.
Right.
It's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Like, let's stop.
Right.
Like, but they don't tell you, you don't hear, like, I remember at a time in 2018 where I understood why people commit suicide. Like, I had this, I'll never forget it, man. It was like, yo, it's this worthlessness, the loneliness, because you feel like no one understands you. And then you,
talk about that.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like you all of a sudden you see a bus, or you see a car, you're like, yo, what if I jump in front of it? That may sound crazy morbid, but you experience that stuff, man, on that journey to get where you're going, but nobody want to talk about that. Oh, keep hustling. Like, bro, that's like saying stay in school.
Right.
Like, my mama tell me that.
Right.
Yeah, my mama tell me that. Like,
Right.
I don't care. Like, you know what I'm saying? Would you tell me the stuff that, talk to me about how the emotions,
Right.
because that's what keeps people off the path. Those emotions are so strong, bro, it can break you. And you like, I'm good, man. I can't do this.
Right.
You gotta have something to push through, but if you know it's there, if I know somebody's around the corner and they about to get you, say, man, keep walking straight. Something behind that.
Right.
That's what happens with entrepreneurs. You gotta, it's not so much a learning curve, but you wanna at least shorten it. Say, hey, look, it's a lonely road. It's an emotional road, but you gotta keep reading books, stay grounded, and educate yourself in so many other facets of understanding yourself. Because when you understand yourself and you know yourself, when it does pop up, I'm so blessed and so thankful. Not blessed, but I don't want to use that. But I'm so thankful, and it was a blessing that God continued to push me in these books and read the word. And because when it did pop up, I understood it. I was like, this is what it is.
Wow.
And I was able to compartmentalize it and say, like, yo, wow. And that 10 minutes changes everybody's life.
Right.
Because that's when people do things. In a span of 5 or 10 minutes, everybody's life has changed forever. Your mom, your dad, your family, your business, their livelihood. Everybody's life is turned upside down because some people just they recognize it and they fall victim to it. And it's not their fault, man. It's just something that happens in human beings. I'm no authority, but I understood it, and the sympathy that I have for it now is incredibly great, which is why I tell people, it's like, yo, if you on this road, if you really want to do something, what value do you add to other people's lives?
Right.
You can't spell the word owner without we.
Yeah.
Try to spell the word owner without the word we. You can't do it. It's about other people. And the one thing I will say, like, in this journey nowadays, man, being yourself is something that it's almost as if I was telling the girls at Ogo, it's almost like it's illegal to be yourself.
Wow.
It's like your authenticity is all you got. That's your mother, your father, your trials and tribulations. And if you lose that because of social media, because of fronting in the fake it till you make it. When you do make it, what happens?
Right.
Because at that point, you don't know yourself. You done lost it. It got lost in translation. And the one thing I said before, guys, I appreciate what you guys are doing, and I appreciate that you're your authentic self, man. Because that right there, if you can do something and still be you, and your mom can see it in you, your friends, you can approach them, chop it up with them, and they don't see anything. They just see you, the same person. They see growth, but they're like, damn, you still my dude.
Right.
Bro, you can't buy that. You can't buy that, man. You can't buy that, and that's, I leave everybody with that, man. Be yourself, and it's not gonna cost you nothing. It may cost you a meeting or two or something like that, but if you can walk away with a smile, man, like other people are proud of you.
Right.
And it don't always have to be the people on the phone. And I think if the people that you know and love you are proud of you, bro, and you did it in a way that maintained the integrity, not only your family, your friends, who you are, who got you to that point.
Right.
Because like I told you, people before us didn't have a choice so that we could have a chance. People before us didn't have a choice, and they fought so that we could have a chance.